Do you have any financial goals you're trying to save for?
Yeah, I got a couple that I'm saving up for.
Nice. Do you have a plan on how you're going to save up for them?
Dave? No. I mean, I plan to just go down to the casino and double my money a couple times. I think that should work out for me.
Okay. All right. Jeez. You know what? I think we better get this podcast started before you make another financial misstep. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Adulthood is a Project, the show where two sisters discuss the lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and you all know my sister Casey, and we're your hosts.
In today's episode, in honor of the beloved tax season, we're going to discuss finances. We will also discuss the ins and outs of how we learn about them and what we can do to set ourselves up for a good future. Let's get started.
All right, and speaking of tax season, welcome to episode 15 that coincidentally is coming out on the 15th. We cannot thank you, our listeners, enough for helping to keep our momentum going. Woo, we love you guys. Finances. Ooh, man. Well, I would say just a couple of statistics to get started. There's nothing quite, crazy in these or anything. I mean, there is crazy stuff in them, but just to get us started, there's an article I saw on this Saveology, and it was just an online article, and it said like 95% of millennials are saving less than the recommended amount, and 69% of households have less than $1,000 in emergency savings, and 34% of Americans have zero in savings. Isn't that wild?
$5 in my savings account, so yeah.
Oh, well, I got 400.
Woo! Nailing this shit.
We're both above the zero mark.
Yes.
The score.
Man, though, I feel like with finances, it's one of those things we were taught about to some degree, but I think it was only to the degree of which the adults around us were comfortable enough talking to us about.
Oh, okay, that's fair. And I will say that I feel like we were definitely brought up in that mentality of you don't discuss your finances, you don't discuss salaries, you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
which, I mean, Mom, I know you're listening, and you've just completely been so embarrassed because we just discussed our shitty savings accounts with the whole world.
You call your own shitty, okay? Mine's growing.
It is growing.
25 bucks.
So, hey, you know what though? I think the reason mine, because I'm so much where I just like, I know what I'm saving for, what I want to spend it on, and I know I'm going to spend it, so I don't put it into the savings account because, so for me, one of the things I'm saving for right now is I want to put a little patio set outside, right?
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And so I'm putting money aside for that, but I'm not actually putting it in my savings account. I'm just leaving it in my checking account because that's where I'm going to spend it when I get ready to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen, I don't have it in my savings account either. I have it in a secret stash. We'll just put it that way. There's a lot more in the secret stash. But I know what I'm using that money for, so it's in the secret stash.
I used to secret stash it. So, finances. The way I used to hide money. Now, understand this. In my first marriage, I had to hide money. Okay, so I would hide it in random things around the house. And like the places I really knew, I was like, this dude will never look here. So the Bible was one of my favorite places to hide things because he would never go in there. Tampon boxes.
Right. Smart.
But he caught on one day because randomly he did open up the family Bible for something.
Oh, damn it.
And I had like $500 stashed away in there. And damn if he didn't get it all.
You're like, shit.
Yeah. But I couldn't put it in our savings because we had a joint savings account.
Oh, man. I don't think it's something we were going to go into a lot of detail on this episode, but I mean, if we do, we do. But I think that could be kind of a whole nother topic of if you are in a relationship, like how do you share those finances?
Yeah.
God bless him. Yeah.
That's a whole
I
episode
have to
on its
worry
own.
about my own self using my finances when I'm not supposed to. I'm like, did you really need to spend 200 at the casino? I'm like, you didn't need to. That wasn't the point. You wanted to.
Wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say, because we're talking about savings accounts and then we said the secret stash. And obviously, your money, if you have it in a savings account, especially like if you have it in a high yield savings account, right? If you're using it,
Yeah.
if you're doing that, then it's growing, right? And it's making money for you. Whereas stashing it around the house in the Bible and stuff, not the smoothest financial move.
Correct. And
but you got to do it sometimes.
Well, the things you learn, I mean, man, when I was younger, like for sure would have, I just stashed, oh man, I'm trying to remember how the whole thing went down, you guys, and I couldn't tell you to this day, but, basically I got really pissed off at this bank. I don't remember what for, probably my own stupidity in finances, to be honest. I don't remember. So I'm like, that's it. I don't want a checking account anymore. I pull all my money out of there and I'm like, I'm not going to have a checking account. So every paycheck, I had go cash it, and then I had the cash on me. And I mean, I don't remember my exact pricing, but at the time you could get a money order for like, I don't know, 20 cents. So it was cheap enough to go get my money order and mail bills in. Again, now listeners, for some of you that aren't our age, there was no such thing as online banking back in the day. So
That's right.
yeah, like that was not an option. So you had to mail your payments in anyway with a check. So instead of writing a check, I would just get a money order with my cash. But I did one time go out and my freaking wallet got stolen with my entire paycheck in it. And
I remember that.
Yes. And I was like, okay, you've got to either get a checking account or figure something out because you cannot be walking around with this kind of money, you dumbass. So I did figure it out from there. But had I understood about savings accounts then or something, I just didn't even understand them. And especially high yield savings accounts, I didn't even know about until I was like mid 30s. My friend told me about them. And I was like, what? I felt like such a dumbass for not knowing about them, And he's like, babe, you seriously never used a high yield savings account? I'm like, I don't even understand what it is. And so, yeah, I started one and I have since gotten rid of it, but only because I moved over to a different type of one. Like I still have a savings account that bears interest. So I do still have that. Listeners, if you're concerned about my finances, don't worry. There's interest now. But here I am in my freaking mid 30s starting to actually understand finances because I just don't feel like it was. I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh man, no one ever told me shit. But I don't remember learning this stuff.
I didn't. So, like I said, we were taught something about finances, right? We were taught you go to work, you make money, and you make sure that you have a budget to pay your bills.
Right.
And I will say the fact that our parents did that for us, listen, I had a friend in high school who was not given that information. And I can recall whenever she first finally had to start paying her own bills. And she's like, Casey, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like, what? How are you this far into debt? What do you mean you have a credit card? What are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, I did all these things and I didn't know it was bad. How did you not know? Well, because her parents had always paid her bills.
Oh.
And even while she was in school, they were paying for her rent and buying groceries and doing the things to make sure that she could just go to school.
But so the entire way of doing it was lost on her when it came down.
Right. Right. It was a bit of a wake-up call whenever she had to start paying those things. I mean, and at that point, I was just like, wow, thank God, somebody made me pay my own bills from the get-go.
Right. Because then I definitely understood budgeting.
Yes, I did
So,
understand.
yeah. I tell you what, I didn't understand though retirement accounts. I'll be honest, man, I still kind of don't, 100%.
No.
But left my very first job. Well, not my very first job, my first like adult job that offered like 401k and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And left that job. What do I do with this 401k? And I'm trying to remember what I moved to. I moved to a job that didn't have it afterwards. I was like, oh, I can't roll it over, so I just cashed it out. Now, mind you, I think there was like, I don't know, maybe $2,000. I don't remember, to be honest. It was not a lot. So I just cashed it out. And as I then went through life, later on, had another job at some point that had a 401k. I finally at that point understood, oh, I can go in there and make a rollover 401k account. I don't have to cash that money out, and I can still keep it investing. I had no idea that was an option in my 20s.
As 401k still, I don't understand them completely. I probably have a couple of 401ks that I started that are just roaming around out there. I don't
Wait,
know
you don't know where they're even at?
Nah.
Come on, man. Now don't make me dig through this crap when you die. Get it together. I got online and one easy for you to find place.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 401k that I for sure know where it's at, and I there's not much in it. Don't get excited, but it's there.
I hear ya. Then
My
when I started,
retirement plan right now has to do with my kids. I expect them to become millionaires.
that's a good plan. A great retirement plan. I mean,
yeah.
I've got, granted, you know what? I feel like we probably should have prefaced this episode with, listeners, please understand that we are not financial advisors.
They've caught that within the first 5 minutes.
And, yeah, we shouldn't have waited until we got this far in. Please, I mean, you can take some lessons learned from us on this, but do not take this as financial advice on what to do with your life.
Don't do that.
$305 in your name. I think it was like 2 years ago, though. I started doing a little bit of looking into this IRA thing or Roth IRA. Still couldn't tell you the difference, but I knew enough to get the Roth IRA.
Yeah, so the Roth IRA, you don't have to pay taxes on your earnings.
So I now have a rollover 401k plus a Roth IRA because I don't know how to combine them. Confusing. I don't know if that works or you can. And I have no idea what my Roth IRA is even invested in. And I know they offer you some stuff, but you guys from personally like finances are like, oh, and I'm just like a deer in the headlights when it comes to understanding that stuff. I'm like, what? And then I just don't get it. So I just stop. So I'm like, well, at least money's going in there.
So, you know what's funny is as much as I don't necessarily understand about money and such, I have always been really adamant with my kids, try and make them understand it. So,
yeah.
The Sonny boy started his Roth IRA at 18. Oh, he was actually 17 when he put his first money in to his Roth IRA.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
However, you know when you're 17 and you can't quite see past 17. So
yeah.
once he invested it and he realized he can't take money out until he's 65, I think. I don't remember the exact age. He's like, well, that was stupid. I'm not putting any more money in there. I was like, no, you still want to keep putting money in there. It's for your future.
Yeah.
And he is like, no, that's not going to happen. But then recently he's been like, maybe I should put some money in there. I told you, you could have already put money in there because, and especially if you ever listen to some of these videos and different things where they talk about if you put X amount in there, you know, per month, until you're 25 or something and then stop, it just keeps growing because it's invested in stuff.
I know, and I honestly, I feel like someone maybe made that comment to me at that first job when I got that first 401k, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna want this." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I, at the time though, didn't understand about saving like for my day to day stuff too, like having that emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
So then everything was going into that, and so by the time everything like stuff happened in my life, I'm like, I could use that money, right? Like
Yes.
now I needed a new car, or I was in between jobs or something, and I'm like, well, I need that money. I'm just gonna pull it out of there, not understanding. I don't know if I would have listened anyway, right? Like I'd been like, oh no, shit. I'm like 22. I got the rest of my life to save money.
Yes.
Yeah. Now in my 40s, I'm like, well, I guess you could have started earlier.
I I just keep figuring it's no big deal.
Well, honestly though, I believe in general, like to me, money is energy anyway. So even if I spend it, I'm just gonna make more. So I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm just gonna go live life, man. I don't want to like, not saying, oh, I don't want to have something saved away for a rainy day, like the emergency fund, because I do think that's really important. But other
Mm.
than that, I'm like, I'll just go have fun. Like, you know what you're saving for? You saved up, go ahead and buy it. You know what you're saving for? Saved up, buy it. Or take that trip. Usually it's a nice taking a trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking I'm just not that worried about it because
Same.
I mean honestly, are we ever going to retire from this podcast?
Huh. No. Wait, shit. Are you trying to tell me something? Are you trying to retire right now? We're only 15 episodes in.
So I think we're good, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're not going to retire from the podcast. So
Yeah. I agree.
just
We're
gonna,
fine. It really,
plus I
on
think
like money truly doesn't stress me out that much. I know to some people that's just insane, or they like truly do stress it. And to me, it's like, I'll make more. It's I've been at some really low points in my life, like low points. I found out the hard way about like credit scores and shit after going into like extremely crap credit card debt that I didn't understand you were supposed to pay a credit card off monthly. I'm like, oh, I can spend $6,000 and I just have to pay $15 a month for it. Cool. Didn't understand how that interest was adding up.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
turned into me paying back like $15,000. So
Mhm.
lesson learned there.
Credit cards, they will fuck your world up.
Dude, they will. And I wish I could remember um, I think I was watching Dirty Money when Netflix was still putting that one out. There was like 5 or 6 episodes in there, and I don't think it's even on there anymore. And I don't remember if it was Dirty Money or there was another one about finances, and I watched it. And they were just talking about how the banks like bank on that. They bank on people like yourself and myself not understanding that concept, and then we're constantly rolling all that debt over and rolling all that debt over. And don't even get me started on like the student loans and stuff. Oh my god, 18-year-old can't even like I don't want to say they can't understand it because some really can. Like some people are good at that stuff, but
Mhm.
if you would use like the general sense of the population, they don't understand all that stuff. Interest rates and paybacks and stuff like that. You're talking about people who we don't think are old enough to even buy their own alcohol or cigarettes, but we think they can sign a $30,000 loan. Like what the fuck? Oop, that's all. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I know. And I think the thing with student loans that'll get you is because you don't have to start paying those back right away. Those don't have
Right.
to be paid back after you're done with school. And then they give you like this little 6 month grace period. And then after that 6 months hits, and they're like, boom, you owe us some money. And I'm like, oh, oh, do I?
Wait a second.
Whoops a
I thought I was
daisies.
gonna get hired in at this $45,000 a year job, and instead I got hired in at 25, 30,000 a year. Didn't realize
Yeah.
this interest rate was gonna hit. Like, in that statistics article I was reading also said that back to that credit card real quick was 38% of households have revolving credit card debt, and then
I
it
guess I
says
don't know
that
what thing means.
It
So
means
they
they're
take.
not paying their credit card off every month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then this, I
I,
mean, this was based on now what, so they're like, oh, 76% of millennials are not financially literate. I think that would be 76% of every teenager. Like, I know they're saying
mm,
millennials right now, but I don't think our generation was any more literate financially than these guys are.
well, I know we weren't.
I
I,
was not.
I was gonna say the student loans, the student loan debt. It takes me back to this. I mean, it was brilliant financial advice. I probably should have listened to from Dear Dad.
Oh, Jesus. Please tell me what he told you.
Called me up, and I just turned 18, right? And he lets me know that Playboy's having their amateur contest. I said, well, I don't think I'm interested. And he said, you need to do this and make some money. And I said, well, I don't really want to take like naked pictures and send them in. And he
Dad,
said,
looking out for your future, man.
he was. He said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I thought maybe I'd go to college. And he said, well, how are you going to pay for it? I don't really know. He's like, right, I'm trying to help you out here. So you should probably use your body before it gets old and gross and make some money off of it.
If only you'd
And
taken his advice.
I'm like, you know what? Dude knew what he was talking about because I probably wouldn't be, you know, having student loan debt if I just did that.
Right. What were you thinking?
I know. Clearly, I wasn't thinking
You know,
about
us kids never listening to our parents.
rebellion. It comes out in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
For me, it was not posing for Playboy.
Damn your luck. His great great grandkids would have really loved to find those photos.
Woo! Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I think about all those feet pictures people supposedly make money on OnlyFans with. I'm like, I got cute little toes.
I told the flower child, I was like, I bet there's some sickos that are really into mom-daughter feet pics. Gonna make some money.
See, listeners, there's always ways to get out there and make a few bucks.
Exactly.
The money just flows. That's totally fine.
That's a
Also, too,
lot.
like, I treat myself a lot. And I don't know if it's from, some of it is obviously how we were raised, but I found myself a few months ago being like, Charlie, you do not need to go treat yourself to dinner. Like, I can eat whatever I want any day of the week, right? But there was a time in my life where going out was a freaking treat.
Yeah.
It's really not anymore, but I still treat it like when I'm like, oh, why don't you take yourself out? I'm like, we literally ate out 3 times this week. So the other day I was like, stop, because I had a big goal I was saving for, which is, oh, you know what? It's listeners, you're going to be hearing a little bit about it, but coming up next week, taking my epic road trip. So I had a little savings goal in there. So I was like, quit eating out 3 times a week. But also, yeah, dude, I treat myself to rice-a-roni a lot. Like, we never got rice-a-roni when we were kids.
Oh, we had rice-a-roni. I feel like we ate rice-a-roni, didn't we?
I don't know. I remember my friend, I told her about this about a year ago. I was like, dude, I remember when I got to spend the night at your house and you guys had rice-a-roni and I thought you were so fancy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we probably had the knockoff version of rice-a-roni.
Okay, probably. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think my big thing, and it's so ridiculous. I don't buy bagged cereal. I have to have the cereal in the box for no real reason. For no real reason. Except because I can. Because I can have the damn cereal that comes in a box And
Yeah.
FU bags. Has, there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. But so those are just like little things that I do, like treating myself, like you say.
Yeah. Well, and I will say too, like as I've obviously gotten older, changed now. I'm like, I don't like. I think there's a point in my 20s where I thought it like I don't know if I was in my 20s or whatever, thinking like it mattered what kind of cereal or something I kept. I was like, who gives a shit? Like I don't care what someone else sees about my cereal choices. And
Oh,
now
I
like
sees my cereal. It's a mental thing for me.
yeah, for you in your head, like but well, because I was thinking about because I'll go to we had Aldi's open up by me about I don't know, probably 3 4 years ago now. I don't even remember to be honest. But I barely started going there about a year ago, and I was just getting like I mainly get like my produce, my cheese there. Love their cheese
You
selection.
buy
Full
this
side
there?
note there, but what?
Buy your produce there?
Dude, yeah, you can get this huge ass bag of jalapenos for $1, sometimes 59 cents.
You know what? I think my problem is like anytime I've ever, and I've only done it a couple times, bought produce from there. I mean, it's maybe good for 2 days.
I will say if you're gonna buy it, yeah, the jalapenos definitely last because I buy that big ass bag. Otherwise, yeah, I only buy stuff that I'm gonna use in the next like I use it within a week though. I grocery shop, within that usually that day half the time. I don't
Oh,
tend to
okay.
pre-buy a lot of stuff,
Okay.
but so I love to eat Triscuits and cheese. One of my favorite snacks. And so I was, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna try their Triscuits. Like, why not? I've had a couple of their other things. The cheese is good. The snack, I get them home, and I'm like, yeah, no, okay, that's nope. I have to have Triscuit brand. Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah. The only thing that sucks about that now is though Aldi's doesn't carry name brand. I mean, unless they got like overstocked with something. So they don't have name brands. Then if I want Triscuits, I gotta go to the other grocery store to get my freaking Triscuits.
Yep.
But I want to go to Aldi's because they have a way better cheese selection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but so now I don't mind like buying off-brand stuff. It does not bother me, but it did used to. I totally hear you, but I still the rice-a-roni I buy the good one. But mac and cheese, like because we always had generic growing up, like now I do. If I'm gonna have like mac and cheese with tuna, it has to be generic mac and cheese. Like crap
Mm,
will not cut it. It doesn't taste.
yeah. The more I've come to think about macaroni and cheese with tuna, the more I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to taste right.
Oh, you don't like it?
Oh, I still eat it.
Oh, I love
I'm just
it.
thinking, if you think about like tuna and macaroni and cheese, they're not
I
supposed to go together.
I kind of don't know that they are either, but it's freaking good.
Yeah. I mean, we
You want to get
definitely ate.
you want to
We
get
ate
real
that.
fancy? Throw some French fried onions on top of it. Oh,
Ooh,
mm. Oh yeah.
so-
Talking finance and stuff like that's one way. Like I started changing my budget. I guess was looking at like what am I spending on groceries and what do I mind? Like what stuff is name brand that I need to get and what stuff do I not care that it's off brand because it tastes just the same. Mustard, mayonnaise, like that shit tastes the same to me. Like I don't care. Like, I'm buying the fries brand
mm-hmm.
or Aldi's, whatever, because
Definitely.
I want to get some like you know like I want like I said you have a savings goal. And if I can save $30 at the grocery store because I didn't buy everything name brand, like that's $30 towards something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. Now back on the actual finance topic and not just our food preferences, but it was some years ago that I was kind of introduced to the Dave Ramsey stuff. Now I'm not like promoting his show or anything. I've never read enough of his stuff or any of that, but I found his 10 baby steps. That's probably what got me to looking. And I also personally downloaded Credit Karma to my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a game to get my credit score up.
Yeah.
And so those are a couple things I use to kind of like start really, again, like after, some really crap credit card debt and stuff like that, like I was like, I got to buckle down and figure something out. So those
Mm-hmm.
were things that worked for me. Did you have something like for you that kind of like pushed you to that?
You know what? I think I've always I have not had credit cards. I got one when Sonny Boy was born and never since then. I won't use them.
You're a smart one, sister.
And so there's that. I would say, I don't know. I've always just kind of been very much, if I can't afford it with the cash I have, I can't afford it. Done.
If I can't take my clothes off and afford it, I don't need it.
If I can't afford it after I've posed for Playboy a couple times. Yeah, so I just, that's where I go with it. If I don't have the cash for it, I can't do it. And
listeners, let us know if you got any good financial advice. We'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and drop us a comment down there. Credit Karma, Dave Ramsey, don't get a credit card. Can't afford it, don't buy it. Those are some good, easy to do things. What'd you say?
I said go pose for Playboy. I think it's OnlyFans now.
I think it is only. Is Playboy even still around? Honestly, I don't even know.
I have no idea. I'll call Dad later and find out.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's OnlyFans. So do what you got to do out there. Oh, man. I would say, though, our lesson learned and growth earned on this is educate yourself. Read some articles, find a financial person that you can relate to and maybe listen to them, like whether it be a podcast or a quick YouTube clip, something on Netflix. Find out what works for you. And by all means, just start some kind of a savings plan for yourself. Even if it's just your HYSA, your high yield savings account. Use something to just get you started down that path because you're going to only thank yourself in the future.
Mm-hmm. In our next episode, we'll explore learning lessons the hard way and allowing the now young adults around us the ability to do the same. You're going to get our hot take on it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
If you have a topic you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, just leave us a comment. If you're enjoying our show, be sure to leave us a review and help others find us. And make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite listening platform to catch all our future episodes.